Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. I want to give you a quick update. As we're in Libra season, there's so much of new things we could do right now. Because Libra is, firstly it is about balancing. But that greater understanding of balance is that we are actually observing it from a greater point of view. Right? If we want to balance something, we need to firstly step outside of the box to see what is out of balance, right? And that's where we get into a perspective of a higher self, like standing on top of the building, looking downwards and see what is out of balance. So this Libra season and this present energy right now is something which is reminding us to step outside of ourselves a little bit and to see what in our lives is out of coherence. Are we missing something? Are we lacking something? Are we overdoing something? Are we overthinking something? Is there something we are procrastinating on because of certain coping mechanism, and we need a greater understanding over our behaviors? So rather than just overthinking and overanalyzing, we can actually just put it into action. We create some motion there and suddenly things will start flowing. And also Mercury retrograde is slowly coming to an end, and there's a lot of release happening right now. So many things are aligning for you, and I'm sure you may feel right now like you're feeling lighter and lighter, but at the same time more grounded. So I want to remind you, my friends, before anything, you're already a champion. You're already a winner because you're dealing with all of that. You're facing with all of that. Anything that comes up in your life, you need to face with that. And that's why you're a champion. You could escape it. You could say, well, I will not deal with that. And you could be lazy. You could lay down and, procrastinate on everything and distract yourself from everything. And you could just feed up your pleasures, but you say, no, I want to deal with that. I want to overgrow it. I want to evolve out of it. I want to expand myself, and that's why you're a champion. So, my friends, when you step outside of yourself, you may recognize that some things are truly beautifully evolving, truly beautifully aligning, and so much of new things are coming into your life. And then there are things which are out of balance, things we are working on. Like, for example, we've started a new project. Maybe you've decided, well, you want to increase financial income in your life, and you've started studying maybe how to invest or how to trade or how to, I don't know, whatever. Maybe you're working on a new business, or you're launching new products, or you've started that new website on which you will launch your new business, or whatever you did or you're doing or working on. You decided that you will take your power back and you will do the best you can so the universe can make the rest. Right? This is huge because most people are not doing that because they are afraid, because of certain emotional wounds, because of something that happened for them in the past and is still controlling them in the present. You've decided to overcome that, and we are always rewarded for that work. So I want to remind you that doesn't matter where you are right now, as long as you're working on it, as long as you're keeping your focus in your future. You're focusing into what you want to create. You're working on it. You're evolving in it. You're expanding. You're sharpening your tools, your skills, your knowledge, your understanding, your awareness. You're getting there, and things are aligning for you. Then another thing that is really strong right now is as nature is shifting. We can see, that beautiful color on the trees when it transforms from green slowly into yellow, orange, and red. It reminds us to also ground our energy from upper energy centers into lower energy centers. That's why winter is always that time of, in the nature, it's like a symbol of rest. But it's not just a symbol of rest, it's a symbol of being aware of what is resting within ourselves. So it may remind us that there's something resting within you. It may be a certain gift, a certain passion, or a certain trauma still resting within you. And it's a time to become more aware of it, but also understanding that that awareness doesn't come in one day. It's like a journey we decide to start walking on. We decide like, okay, right now I will initiate that path of greater awareness of what is still resting within me and maybe supporting me or could help me on my path, could help me on my spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical evolution. So you may become more aware of what is resting right now within you. And if we go downwards on our energy center, slowly we come to that first center at the base of our spine, and we recognize, okay, this is the root, this is the cause of why I am the way I am, or this is the cause I'm not who I want to be. Because sometimes we may recognize in our childhood before something heavy happened. Let's say when you were little, you were truly joyful and happy, and then something maybe in the middle school happened that taught you that you should suppress your true self. And since then, you've started suppressing who you truly are. But if you go back into your childhood, you may recognize you were truly passionate about something. You were like all day long you were dreaming how when you will be older you will be doing those things. Like I remember when I was little, I was drawing all the time. If something was wrong in my life, I closed myself into a room and I was drawing. And at some point I've completely forgot about it. I've stopped drawing, I've stopped creating, I went all into sports. Now I know why, because it helped me to develop my physical self, to ground my spiritual energy into this physical dimension, into my physical body, so I could develop that strength that once I will awaken those gifts from my childhood once again, I will have a strong vehicle and I will be able to face with my fears, so I will be able to work on my deepest dreams and potentials. So you see, everything happens with a reason, and also those reasons which taught you why you should suppress your true self. Actually, those events happened in your life, so you would be hurt. So later in life, you would learn how to heal yourself. Because once we learn how to heal ourselves, we learn that everything can be healed. And that is so important, because when we look around us and we may see many people are hurt, we may see many places are hurt, we may see that there's a lot of heaviness present around us, because we've learned to heal ourselves. We know that everything can be healed. And that's what we are learning right now. That's why there's a lighter energy right now present, which is actually helping you to see more of those things, to get a greater clarity over why you are the way you are and what's going on within you. Like maybe what happened in the past and the greater reason why it happened. We had that, we still have Mercury in retrograde, and we had that phase right now, 6 planets in retrograde, and many people were experiencing a bit more of that heavy energy. And we may feel uninspired, unmotivated, we may feel like we don't want to do much, we may feel like things are falling apart, we may feel like nothing is going on in our lives, we may feel like feeling stuck. But then when we do that deep introspection, we recognize that yeah, of course, what was moving before is now in that phase of being stuck. So you could deal with what you were ignoring before. Like if you're constantly driving a car, you can't actually take care of what's in the trunk. But once you stop, you step outside of the car, you open up the trunk and you see what's in there. It's same here, my friends. You can't find what's resting within you if you're constantly pushing, constantly moving forward, constantly running, constantly forcing, constantly doing something, constantly thinking, constantly feeling something. Everything external. So we need to slow down and see what is resting. Is there an inner fire? You could put some wood onto it so it can expand, right? What's inner fire? It's inspiration. It's when we feel driven to do something. We feel inspired to make something out of nothing. It seems like out of nothing, but we actually just bring something out of that imagination, out of the spiritual dimension into a physical realm, so we can bring something new to this world. And if it comes from higher energy, it means that it will uplift what is stuck or heavy right now here. That's why that spiritual understanding is so important, because every artist is actually downloading from that spiritual realm. So, my friends, it's a time of great balancing. And when it comes to great balancing, it comes to that perspective that we are living, as much as we are living externally, we are also living internally. But the internal self is most of the time reflected externally. But if we are not aware of that, we may fall into a state of being a victim of external circumstances. And then there's your higher self reminding you, hey, everything external is a reflection of your internal state. Slow down, take care of your inner self, and everything externally will take care of itself. So this is an important realization, and that connection with your inner self is so important. That's why in previous video I mentioned to learn to listen to your body, because your body is always saying to you what you need to know. And I'm not talking about the fears when we are avoiding the things which feel unpleasant, but often we may feel that we need to stop doing something, or that we need to do more of something else. Like, for example, if I fall into a certain habit which causes me to paint less, sometimes it happens, I may recognize that at some point I start to feel like I'm ignoring my ideas. So many visions and inspirations are coming to me and I'm not expressing them. And my purpose is to express those ideas. So I need to take care of it. Because sometimes it happens that I fall into a habit where I'm just making videos and I stop painting. And that's where I recognize, well, I need to take care of this. I need to change my behaviors a little bit. I need to take care of my time management a little bit so I can start painting again, because there's so much coming in. And that's what is happening right now. For the last month or so, I was not painting almost at all, because I was working on other things and I was happy about it, but still at the same time I felt like I'm ignoring a part of myself, and it is calling me louder and louder. And right now is the time to start listening to it once again. And I've noticed so many incredible ideas are coming to me, and I was ignoring them. And as soon as we open those doors, more starts coming to us. It's like you decide to write a book, and you start writing a first chapter, and suddenly you download the whole book. It's something like that. And I want to remind you, it's not just something that is happening to me. I can see so many people are going through it, but most people don't have that understanding how that energy connection works. And that's why I love to remind you to pay attention to it, because it's not something we're making up. It's just so gentle that we think sometimes that it's not real. But as soon as we pay attention to it, like we pay attention to certain intuitive sensations we feel, like intuitive needs right now. Like sometimes you may feel go outside into the nature, go for a run. Let's push your body a little bit. Let's see where are those physical boundaries of your body. And if you do it, you may experience a great sense of liberation, because you've released some heavy energies which are not or were not serving you anymore. You know, sometimes we just need to shake off of what is not serving us anymore. So this is a beautiful phase. As much as the colors in the nature are becoming more and more beautiful, like I love that transition from summer to autumn, and all those colors, it always inspires me to paint something out of that. Like you can find the painting in my Etsy shop. I draw my passion, the path to serenity, an oil painting, which was inspired back at 2018. I made it, and it was inspired by that transition. And it is that phase right now, to see what is resting, to see what kind of aspect of ourselves needs to come to the light. Because of the end of the summer, we also have more time for that introspection and awareness of what could we take care of right now? What's the thing we want to do, or what are the aspects right now we want to evolve in, like what we want to develop about ourselves right now, and what we just want to release, to surrender, to stop worrying about. Because when you have a dream and you know what you need to do and you start doing it, release of the worries is must. Because if you're working on it and you know you're expanding and improving yourself in it, you don't need to worry about anything, because what you invest your energy to, you will receive something in return. So release of worries is something that should be natural to us, but sometimes it's not, because we're trained to think that way. So I want to remind you to release everything that is not serving you right now. And if you're wondering how to release it, well, surrender to your joy, surrender to what you love to do, and do more of it. Maybe feed yourself with some stories and information which can empower you and help you to give some examples that what you're doing is working. Because sometimes we may listen an interview of somebody who did similar things we are working on, and they succeeded, and we see, well, if they can do it, I can do it as well, because they are just an expression of maybe my greatest potentials. They did it before, so I can see in my environment that what I want to do is possible. Of course, you will do it in your unique way, but that's how this reality works. We always have examples of what may happen if we develop those aspects. We may see what may happen if we express our anger, and if we don't stop expressing it, we look around us and we see what can happen. But we also can see what can happen if we start expressing our deepest dreams, and if we start developing our deepest potentials. We may find so many people which are already succeeding at it. And if we don't fall into that state of comparing ourselves with others, we may see them as a potential that it's possible. And that may help you to surrender your worries. Of course, you will flow your own boat, your unique way, and you will do your own unique thing. But that's what can help you to surrender. So my friends, I'm sending you lots of love, blessings and power. Have a magnificent day, and thanks to all of you for supporting my art in my Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. You're all truly appreciated. And to everyone who needs some daily reminders, go and check out my Instagram page, AttractPassion, where I'm sharing daily messages. And to find my art gallery, go and check out my other Instagram page, I Draw My Passion. See you there. Till next time. One love.